Hey y'all, howdy doody tonight. Thought we'd do something a little different tonight. Is everybody? It's a wonderful Monday evening. We are all homework, hopefully, or on our way home. Either way, it is the evening time, and I want to welcome you all. Welcome. It is so good to see you guys. Hopefully, everybody is doing well this evening and that your weekend was amazing. Come on in. Come on in. It is lovely to see everyone. How are you? How are you? So, I hope that you all have your glasses because I got mad tonight. And since this week I decided we're going to keep it sexy this week, I thought I'd do a little different for y'all tonight, just dress it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just give you a little something different. Even got the fancy glass tonight, y'all. Okay, we doing it fancy tonight. Yes, for our keeping it sexy week, honey. We are definitely keeping it sexy tonight. Tonight we are going to be talking about all places we could go. We're gonna be talking about some of them romantic getaways and where y'all can go for the romantic because sometimes, we just need to get out a little bit. We need to, get away from the house and spend some time as a couple. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of in that quiet moment and just enjoy each other's company. And sometimes we need to, when we've been together for years, sometimes we have to take that time to get back getting to know each other because sometimes we go through things in life and it can be super stressful. And during those times, it is when you absolutely have to just each other over again. As we age, we change and things like that. So taking that time away allows us to be able to get to, let our guards down again. Because sometimes over time we tend to put them guards up, for whatever is going on. Hey, Donna. Hey, girl. How are you? Good to see you, sister. Sometimes we have to put our guard, sometimes we put our guard up, and over time, how to put them down. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely. So tonight, we are going to be talking about romantic getaways. But first, just in case, you're on your way home, in case you just walked in the door, it's okay, take your time, get relaxed a little bit, take your time, get your glasses, slip your shoes off, get you somewhere comfortable. If the kids is out, look, tell them kids, go ahead, man, their business, because tonight is not about them. They need to just move around a little bit. Hey, Bobby. Hey, Zelma. What's good, ladies? What is good? Look here. I'm doing a little something different for y'all tonight because we said we keeping it sexy this week. So, I figured I'd go ahead and do a little something, little mini glow up, honey. I got dressed and the kids said, wait a minute. Um, where you going? I'm going nowhere. It was like, you got makeup on, you done pulled your hair over to the side, and you done got dressed. I said, well, this is for my show tonight. This is for my show, honey. I'm keeping it sexy this week. They was like, well, we gonna make sure that when you get off your show, they was like they had the remote to the garage to make sure I don't go nowhere. They done turned the alarm on to make sure I don't go. I told them they such haters. I told them it's okay for them to be haters, okay? So look, grab y'all glasses. I got mine. Got the fancy glass tonight. Look, we didn't even went got nails done. Baby, we done went and got it, okay? Yes, honey. We keeping it sexy tonight, okay? Look, it's been a minute since I had a reason to dress up like this. So when I jumped at the opportunity tonight. I was like, yes, come on. I said, we're going to keep it sexy. We're going to keep it all the way sexy, okay? From head to toe, baby. Yes. Got on the whole fit tonight. Look, and we got ruffles going on. Girl, we keeping it sexy tonight, okay? So look, so tonight we're talking about romantic getaways. For couples, because sometimes you need that reset, hit that reset button. Thanks, Bobby. Zim says, yeah, security. Bobby says, looking good, sis. Look, let me tell you something. Sometimes we need to just hit that reset button, because sometimes being at home and being in the same environment, sometimes, the other person, that our spouse or our significant other, our partner, whatever, can work our last loving nerves. So sometimes we have to get away to just kind of just breathe a different type of air sometimes. It doesn't have to be. Sometimes you might need a week. Sometimes you might need a simple weekend. But them quick getaways, something like overnight or something like that, just to get out of, hey, Sam, just to get over, hey, Mary, just to, change it up a little bit. It's okay to change it up and do something a little different. So this week, because this is Keeping It Sexy week, y'all, we keeping it sexy all week, y'all. Okay. So tonight we're going to do the romantic getaways, and we're going to talk about those. And then on Wednesday, we're going to continue the conversation with the things that you can do. Tis so sweet. The things you can do. And then on Friday, baby, Friday night is lingerie and lace, honey. We talking about the things you can wear to spice it up, okay? All week we talking about keeping the spice in these relationships and everything like that. So I Googled, because I be doing my research, y'all. I be doing my research. So I looked up top romantic getaways. So I looked up Bazaar Magazine. Now, for those of you all who don't know, Bazaar Magazine is presented by the Ritz Carlton. So if the Ritz Carlton tells them these are some good places, baby, these are some good places. So for the top one we got is the Cayman Islands. Oh my goodness. When I saw the pictures of the Cayman Islands, they are breathtaking. Now, for some people, you don't like to fly. Some people don't. Some people don't like to do boats. There's different ways you can do the getaway. Sometimes you can find a place close to home where you can just simply get in the car, take a little road trip. This new thing they have out is the mini houses. And one of the things I find with the mini houses is you get all the amenities of the things that you need in these houses, but they're pretty much efficiency houses. You get everything that you need. And in getting everything you need, it still allows you to be in an intimate space where it's small enough to allow you all to kind of reconnect and spend that quiet time, talking to each other and learning each other again. Because sometimes in relationships, and as you've been together over time, sometimes your love language can change. And it's okay. And as we get older, love languages change, our bodies change. Hey, Donata, it changes. And that's okay, because when you hit that reset button, you get to learn that the love language you was in your 20s may not be the love language in your 30s, and it may not be the same love language in your 40s, 50s, and 60s. Especially if you've been with your partner for 10 plus years, it changes. You may go from wanting gifts as your love language to maybe wanting more time, more quality time, and so that these romantic getaways and places that you can go allow you to be able to learn those new things. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's an example. So if you're not a person that likes to get on the plane and go places, there are places like bed and breakfasts. Bed and breakfasts allow you the comforts of home where you don't have to cook. Somebody else is cooking for you. You get home cooked meals. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these bed and breakfasts are so gorgeous. Some of them are on large acres of land where there's horseback riding, carriage rides. Like, there's different things that you all can do, to learn each other all over again. And they're cozy. So you have pros and cons to the bed and breakfast. The only con to bed and breakfast is it's sort of like a hotel, but you're literally staying in almost like a giant house. So each couple has their own room. So, well, each person, or a couple has their own room. So it's not like where you going into a hotel, but it still has the comforts of home. So if you want a homey feel, try bed and breakfast. They have some of the most amazing bed and breakfasts in Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois has some nice ones. So if you're ever in a mood for like a homey feel, Google the closest bed and breakfast. And that's a way that you can go out, spend some quality time, some quality quiet time together, where you're not bombarded with so much. We got the cabins. The cabins are nice because you have some cabins that are more in wooded areas where you're really you're really hoofing it. And then you have some that are some of these newer cabins are like hotels. It's just you have the seclusion of a cabin. So that's another option if you don't like to fly or if you don't want to go on a cruise or things like that. There's places like the Sybaris. I know here in Chicago we have places like Sybaris. We have places like the Essence Suites. We have places like the Champagne Lounge, and those particular places offer. Okay, Janetta says, always wanted to go to a good bed and breakfast. Had that Lifetime Hallmark Christmas movie feel. Yeah, like even for me, sometimes I just want to get away. Even as a mom, that I'd be like, oh, let me just go somewhere where I don't have to cook or do anything. Bobby says in Hanover, Pennsylvania, there's a bed and breakfast called the Beachmont. We highly recommend it. So, I mean, the bed and breakfast is just an option. Not everybody may like the bed and breakfast because, like I said, you have pros and cons to everything. And it's okay because your end game is to spend quality time with your partner. You're trying to reconnect. So it's more so you want to go someplace that's going to give you the ambiance that you want of romance. That's the kind of atmosphere that you want. Danetta says weekend getaways are everything. Come on, honey. Them weekend getaways, baby. You come back refreshed, renewed, rejuvenated. Okay? I promise you. We have places like, so there are places in, even in Canada, there's some nice places in Canada that are absolutely amazing. The views are breathtaking. They have some, and now with Airbnbs, you can rent an Airbnb pretty much everywhere in the U.S. And if I'm not mistaken, there's some places in Puerto Rico and places like that where you can rent Airbnbs. Zelma says, I need a trip that I don't have to break the bank. Absolutely. And see, some of these weekend getaways, like to the cabins or to the bed and breakfast, going to these places, it's not like you're planning a trip that's going to break you or you got to spend $5,000 for the whole weekend. Yeah. Because some of these bed and breakfasts you can get like for, say, $200 or less, some of them for the whole weekend. And a lot of them include amenities and things like that, like the grounds of the places, the cabins. Some of the cabins that I've seen have been absolutely amazing. So I did my research because here's the thing. You make time for the things that you want. So if you're trying to rebuild your relationship, if your relationship is worth fighting for, it's something that you need to make time for. Just a thought. Marinate on that. I told y'all I got the fancy glass tonight. Like, marinate on that because we make time for the things that we want. So if our relationship is something that we want and something we need to put work into, we need to put time into it too. And these weekend getaways, week long getaways, staycations, vacations, some of these are just exactly what we need. Janetta says, shoot, I'll go to reconnect with myself. Come on now. Look. Sometimes you have to tell. Bobby says, we love Canada. We're only a 4-hour drive from the Niagara Falls border. That's awesome. Like in Detroit, there's a bridge literally from Detroit to Canada that you can drive across and literally go into Canada from Detroit. It's been closed because of the pandemic, of course. But so many places are opening up now. Like a lot of bed and breakfasts are opening up now. Some of the hotels are opening up. There's hotels here. Like we have a hotel here. Well, a motel that is run like a family-owned motel. And they provide you with like their rooms are literally set up like someone's bedroom. So instead of you going and you getting that hotel feel, and things like that. Danetta, you got jokes. See, Danetta, you already started. Already starting, Danetta. She says, "Is there a drink?" See, I'm not gonna play with Janetta. I am not gonna play with her tonight. Tussle, is there a drink in that glass? She was singing tonight. First of all, yes, there is a drink in my glass. I have me some wine in my glass tonight. I told you I'm going fancy all the way tonight. You know, we keeping it sexy, so I'm trying to keep with the vibe and the theme tonight, honey. Okay, my kids already trying to lock me in the house because they ain't seen me like this in a minute. You know, look, we done put some eyes on, girl. My kids trying to lock me in the house and everything. Like, I gotta sneak out the house when I'm done, child. Sam says a great vacation and getaway spot is the Pocono Mountains. Bobby and I had our honeymoon there. Wow, the 7 foot tall champagne glass whirlpool spot. Sam, you said 7 foot tall champagne glass whirlpool spot. You had me a champagne glass. You had me a champagne glass. If that don't sound appealing, I'm trying. I'm trying to tell y'all. You know, we all have places that we like. If there's some place that you guys would like to go, absolutely. Zelma says, "Ooh, that sounds like life, honey." Champagne had me a champagne glass, honey. He had me. He had me. It gave me life, okay? It gave me life, baby. You know, if there's places that you guys love, feel free to drop them in the comments. Places that you guys have been that you found that was really romantic, or places that you found allowed you to even just reconnect with yourself. Because sometimes we need our individual staycations and vacations, okay? Look, sometimes we have to do it as a couple, and sometimes we have to do it separately because sometimes we have to get our minds right before we can work on what we have to work on together. So that's absolutely cool. Like, so let me give y'all some other examples. So the Bazaar magazine says, so the first one was the Cayman Islands that they gave us. The second one was Lake Tahoe. Now, Lake Tahoe, a lot of people be like, but don't sleep on Lake Tahoe now. Don't sleep on them because they got some amazing places. And these are places that you can easily Google, or places that you can easily look up, you know, when you talk about vacations or getaways and things like that. Zelma says, Fairbanks, Alaska, hot springs. Okay. You know what? People don't think that Alaska is as pretty as it is. Alaska is a beautiful place. Even though it's like, you know, tons of ice everywhere. But it is really pretty. Like, surprisingly, it is really pretty. So the third place that the Bazaar magazine gave was Northern Italy. Now, when this is over, you all can Google this. Type in top 20 romantic getaways because that's where I found it. But Northern Italy, Italy itself is just pretty. I love the language, the Italian language, between French and Italian. Oh my goodness, those languages just sound romantic. Okay, I want to learn French just so I can go to France, not for a long period of time, but just for a little bit because you know French people ain't so warm and welcome to Americans. They're really not. But England, surprisingly, is a beautiful place to visit too. I spent a week there, and I went to Dover, Canterbury, Cambridge, Bath. Where else did I go? Stratford upon Avon. We spent a week, and I didn't realize that nobody lives in London. People just work in London. I didn't know that until I went to visit. And it was an absolutely amazing place, and they welcome Americans there. As long as you're not Trump. As long as you're not Agent Orange, they love you. Bobby says, laugh out loud. It sure did. And the champagne glass is in your come on now. Oh, she said the champagne glass is in your living room. Amazing. Definitely worth the money and the trip. We've been there enough time to be considered forever lovers. That's what I'm come on now. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. You have to do that make you happy and help you to reset in those tough moments of relationship and those tough times of relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like, so here's a place I learned. It's called Koh Samui in Thailand. That was the fourth top uh destination for a bazaar. Now, number five, I gotta say, is one of my absolute favorite places, and it is no other than New Orleans, Louisiana. Baby, when I say that place drips and oozes with love and laughter, and it is a city of good times. Okay, it is definitely a city of good times, and they have bed and breakfasts there. You have the hotels on the strip, like Bourbon Street. Like when I say it is a good time, honey, and I'm not talking only Mardi Gras. Like, I'm not even talking about going during Mardi Gras. I'm talking about going just to go and to soak in the culture and to soak in the sights of New Orleans and the history of New Orleans. Like that in itself, just strolling down those streets, holding hands, listening to that good music while they waving them flags to that music, honey, honey. Woo! Bobby says New Orleans is on our bucket list. You absolutely have to go. It is if you've never been to New Orleans, it is an essence that can hardly be put into words. It is a beautiful city with the colors and the love that the people have for each other and the love that they have for their city. Honey, they go hard for them New Orleans Saints, let me tell you, okay? They go hard for them Saints. Like Chicagoans go hard for their Bears, whether they win or lose. Let me tell you, New Orleans go hard for the Saints. Okay, they have black and gold everywhere with fleur de lis everywhere, honey. You think my fan is something, honey? They be with them, baby, with them scarves. They be getting it, and that music is infectious. I promise. Going down there listening to that music while you sipping on your drink, honey. I promise you, if you ain't in love, you're gonna be in love by the time you leave New Orleans, okay? I promise you, because it is an amazing city. I promise you it is. So number six is St. Lucia. Now, St. Lucia is a place that I've heard a lot about. I've heard a lot about St. Lucia. Now, I've never been, but I've heard a lot about St. Lucia because they have like the sandals resorts and things like that you can do for couples, and they have a lot of when you do St. Lucia through sandals, they have a lot of different couple things like couples massages and a lot of things that you can get within that package when you go through sandals, because it's definitely geared towards the reconnection of couples and just allowing them to enjoy each other and enjoy each other's company. Because ain't nothing like a couple's massage. When y'all give each other the massages, I don't mean y'all both laying on the table and oh, you got Broomhild over here and you got Hildy over here, like massage. No, I'm talking when you do the couples massages, massage each other. Get your little hot oil, rub each other down. Get to know them creases and folds that came along over the years after the kids, after the stress, after 10, 20 years of marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like, get to know each other on that type of level. That's the kind of romantic getaways I'm talking about, okay? Then we got, oh, the Yaron Island in Japan. Now, that's a pretty place too. I looked it up and it is actually a really pretty place. I don't know a lot about it, but it says that when I looked it up, I did Google it. It says that there's a lot of different, it's almost like a Sandals Beach resort. It's a beautiful island, clear waters, white beaches, white sand beaches, and ain't nothing like them kind of trips. Taking couples snorkeling together, learning different things and being adventurous together can sometimes awaken, what has been dormant due to stress. And when you get to a certain point, your parents have moved in with you. And, when you get to the point where you've been on your job for so long and, now you're stressed out about your job, you're stressed out about the kids, you're stressed out about your parents, and all that stress and things have piled up on you. And because you all are trying your best to maybe be there for each other, but deal with the stress in your own way, sometimes that can cause couples to become distant. And if you're not willing to put in that time to work on it, that distance can cause fractures. And putting in that work can mend those fractures and make you all stronger than ever. But you've got to be willing to get to a point where you say, hey, we need a reset. We need some time for us. Parents need time away from kids. I don't care how much you love your kids, you need time away. If that means you got to call granny to watch the kids for a week, if you got to call the aunties, the cousins to watch the kids for a weekend, sometimes you just need to get out your house that night. Sometimes you just got to go that night. And even those type of trips, those overnight stays, sometimes that can give you just a little boost that you need to make you willing to fight for your relationship. Because when you're staying in the same environment, it can get stale. And that's what you want to do. You want to awaken. You want to awaken it. You want to put a little life into it. It is. It's not the same when you walk past each other in the mornings and morning. You know, you cooking and they come in what you fix. Ain't no more to you cooking and they sneak up behind you with a little cuddle. You quit playing. You have to work to get back to that sometimes because life happens, shit happens. It does. And when it puts you in a position where you have now become stale in your relationship, you got to find other ways. Get away for the night. Look, call that babysitter and be like, hey, look, I just need you to watch the kids overnight. We'll be back in the morning or we'll be back tomorrow sometime. Don't check out to the last minute. Go to the hotel. Look, don't be taking no whole bag of clothes. Take you one outfit. No pajamas. Don't take no pajamas. Ain't nobody gonna be there but you. Don't be taking no whole bunch of stuff. When you go on romantic getaways, you got to put that little into it. So that way when you're rebuilding and reconnecting, you're getting to learn each other from head to toe. Because you have to learn where a person's mind is and where their mindset is when you're in relationships. Because sometimes if you don't get to a point where you recognize that you need that reset, one of the parties will be ready to walk out the door by the time you realize that you need a reset. So sometimes in the midst of everything, you just have to say, hey, okay, we need to take a minute. We need to take a moment and just step back. We need to breathe, and just, like I said, sometimes you have to take a staycation by yourself. Sometimes you have to take a vacation by yourself so that you can get your mind right and get your heart right so that you know what position you're in the relationship that you're in. Because the worst thing in the world is to try and fight for a relationship with somebody who don't want you no more. Uh, It takes two people to fight. You can't fight by yourself. So it takes two. So you absolutely have to get to a point where you know you and what it is that you want. So that way, when you come together, you're on even ground to say, hey, this is what I want. What is it that you want or what is it that you need? So in those resets and having that quiet time, it allows you to have those hard conversations that you can't necessarily have in the house while the kids is in the house. You can't necessarily have those conversations about where you feel that you're headed. Because where you feel you may be headed may not be where the other person sees themselves headed in that particular relationship or individually. So go to these places. Janetta says, say it again for the people in the cheap seats. Come on now. You do though, Janetta. You have to be able to look at yourself and be like, is this what I really want? Because there's nothing like being in the ring by yourself and fighting a ghost, honey. You can't fight for something that nobody else wants. You have to be in that mindset to say, hey, I'm willing. I talk about transparency. I told you on this show, I'm going to be completely transparent about things. So I felt like, so here's the thing. I've been married before. Okay. No, I am divorced. And it was not the best of marriage, but I realized for myself that I can't fight for a healthy marriage by myself. So because I realized and I had decided for myself and got my mind right and got my heart right, I had to decide that I no longer wanted to fight by myself for something that the other person didn't want. Not that they didn't want the marriage at the time, they didn't want a healthy marriage. That's the difference. That's the difference. And you got to know the difference. You absolutely have to know the difference. There's marriages and then there's healthy marriages. All marriages are not healthy. I'm just going to say it. My opinion, all marriages are not healthy. If it's something that's detrimental to you in any way, shape, form, or fashion, that's not healthy for you. And that's why, unless you're in the mindset to be honest with yourself, to say, this is what I need, this is what I want, this is what I deserve. And if the other person is not willing to hear you, not just with their ears, but they have to be able to hear you up here and they have to be able to hear you here. And if they cannot do that and to reciprocate the things in which you need or the things that you want, and you can't reciprocate the things that that person wants or that person needs, then sometimes hitting that reset button allows you to be in a position to walk away in a healthy manner. So a reset can work both ways. A reset can help you all come together. It can help you learn each other. And it can help you both get to a point where you realize, like, look, we're arguing every day. We're fighting every day. We're no longer at the point where we even like each other. And yet we're continuing to make each other miserable with our words, with our actions. And having that reset allows you to realize that sometimes, even after a 20-year marriage, that sometimes you just need to walk away. Sometimes you have to walk away. And if you walk away as friends, amicably and mutually, awesome, great. Because some exes make the best friends, even when you have kids, that sometimes people just realize we've outgrown each other. And sometimes that happens. You outgrow people, sometimes even in relationships, because everybody does not work in alignment. And as you get older, things change for people. You know, the things that you wanted together as a couple when you first got married or within the first 10 years, or when there were no children in the marriage, that now there's children, you both have careers, you have a house, you've got cars, you've got extra bills. God forbid you have a business together. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot that you're not only piling on yourselves, but you're piling on the relationship itself. So sometimes in the pile up, you understand that sometimes that foundation is strong enough to hold it, and sometimes it's not. And if you find that it's not, it's okay. But you'll never know unless you do the reset, not just for the relationship, but you have to do the reset for yourself. Hey, you have to do the reset for yourself. So it absolutely makes a difference, going on these romantic getaways. And, because you can learn that when you're on a romantic getaway, here's the thing. When it's just the two of you on a romantic getaway, and you have the couples massages, the milk baths, and the sauna, and all the romantic things that you need. If you find that while you're on this romantic getaway, you still loathe the fact that this person is trying to touch you, I think you know the answer to your question. Because there's no way of running when it's just the two of y'all. There's no place to go. There's nobody to interfere. It's just the two of you. That puts you in a position to be honest with yourself and be honest with the person that you're with. Just a thought. Marinate on it. Marinate on it. I know Bobby and Sam have been married for a long time. Amazing, beautiful couple. But Bobby and Sam, let me ask you, do you find that romantic getaways are something that, and if there's other married couples in here, feel free to answer the question, because sometimes it's needed. Like even in not even just in married couples, but sometimes, because here's the thing. Marriage ain't for everybody. I don't care what nobody say. Marriage ain't for everybody. And that's all right. People have the right to choose their lifestyles and the way in which they want to live. Because now we have so many different types of relationships. We have polyamorous relationships. We have same-sex relationships. We have heterosexual relationships. And let me tell you something. All relationship will work. I don't care if it's 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. I don't care how many people it is. It's work. It is absolutely work. And again, it goes back to you make time for the things and the people that you want. Hey, Lauren. Hey, girl. You make time for the people and the things that you want. So, I mean, there's no other way to say it. Resets are something that we all need. Sometimes we just need to get away, even as moms. Sometimes we just need to get away from hearing the word mom. Let me tell you, I know I do. I know I do. Because it goes back to having or being in a healthy and happy mental state. Your mental health is super important. You can't do for somebody else when you can't do for yourself. If you're not of a mindset or you're not in a mind frame to provide yourself with the things you need to be happy, there's nothing anybody else can do or say to make you happy. Because at the end of the day, our happiness is it's not determined by the person we with. It's not determined by the person who's in our bed at night. It's not determined by the person who put the ring on our finger. It is determined by us. No one can make me unhappy but me. Nobody can make me happy but me. Now, if I choose to give somebody else that power or that ability to make me happy or unhappy, I can take it away just as quickly as I gave it to you. Just a thought. Marinate on it. Hope y'all got y'all glasses because I got mine, honey. I want this week, in the Keep It Sexy week, I want in the back of your mind to understand that you have to be at a point where you are mentally ready. You have to be mentally healthy. Okay? Hear me when I say mentally healthy. You have to be happy within your own self. Happy with yourself. Because if you can't like yourself or you can't stand to be in your own company and be by yourself, what the hell make you think anybody else want to enjoy your company or be with you if you can't even be with yourself? I'm just saying, because, honey, it took me a minute, but girl, guess what, honey? I like her. Me like her. She like me. It took me a minute to get there, but I did the work to be able to say, I, she, me, her like her. We all like her. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get to that point. And that's the thing. You have to get to that point to be able to say, look in that mirror and say, guess what? I like her. I like him. Because if you can't do that, you are not in a position or capable of being in a relationship with someone else. Because if you can't accept love from yourself, you can't accept love from nobody else. Just a thought. Marinate on it. Lauren says, that's what I try to get my husband to understand. When I'm empty, I don't have nothing for him or the kids. I have to make me time. Absolutely, Lauren. Absolutely. You have to have that mental, you have to be mentally in a good position to be able to give anything to anybody else. Bobby says, true. You have to be mentally ready for a relationship. You do. Because when you're in a relationship, it's give and take. Relationships are give and take. Let me tell you, it's going to be days when your partner has a bad day and you might be having a good day. And they're going to need your shoulder to lean on because of their bad day. You have to be in a position where you're strong enough in yourself to be able to hold them up at the same time while taking on some of the things in which they're dealing with. Because when the roles are reversed, they're going to need to be in that position to be strong enough to hold you up when you need to fall down a little bit, or you need somebody to hold you up. Absolutely. Zelma says, man, say that again. Janetta says, child, they can't hear you in the cheap seats. I'm not finna play with you, girl. Bobby said that's exactly right. You have to like yourself first. Because if you don't, woo, none of your relationships are gonna work. I'm trying to tell you, hey, Bev. Absolutely. Lauren says so many people only view relationship as a business marriage. It's so much more than that if you in it for love and support. You know, when you're in relationships, whether it's friendships, relationships with a significant other, whether it's relationships with your siblings, relationship with your parents, relationships with coworkers, any type of relationship takes work. When you're in, and see, here's the thing, because some people do view marriages as a business, because they consider that when you sign that marriage license, you're signing a contract. I mean, in a way, you are, but here's the thing. One thing I take very seriously, even though I'm no longer married, wedding vows are something that I view as something that are important and sacred. So when you're taking your marriage vows, be careful of what you say. Be careful of the words that come out of your mouth and the words in which you choose to put in your marriage and your wedding vows. Because when you're entering into that contract of marriage, you are promising to abide by the things in which come out of your mouth. I promise you, if you telling somebody you promise to love, honor, cherish, obey, I promise you that you are making a contract to honor those. You are making a commitment to forsake all others. That means that that marriage is between you two. That marriage is not between you, mama, they siblings, your best friend, they best friend. That is not what that means. That means that relationship stays between you two. Let me let y'all in on a little secret. Come in a little closer so I can tell y'all real quick. When you mad at your significant other, don't call and tell nobody. Don't call and tell nobody. Because when you call and tell people your business about the fact that you mad at him, ooh, he pissed me off. He done made me mad, girl. I can't stand him. Ooh, I'm gonna leave him because ooh, he's getting on my nerves. Or ooh, girl, she just I can't. Like, well, man, bro, she just tripping. I can't do this, and I just can't. I gotta leave her because it ain't working for me. Here's the thing: while your family members and your friends are pissed off at your significant other, you'd have made it up in your mind like, well, wasn't that bad. I still love them. It wasn't that bad. That's my boo. That's my baby. Stop telling people your business, especially when you're in a position that you're going back. Because then you be mad when your friends and your family is looking at you sideways, and then when they see the significant other come around, they got that this dude, this chick, like they ain't shit. I'm just saying, keep your anger to yourself. And now that we have social media, stop making videos, stop making posts. You're going to regret it later. You probably going to take it down and delete it. But it don't matter because enough people have seen it. Somebody done shared it. Somebody done screenshotted it. Somebody done saved it. And they probably done sent it to the person you wrote it about. Let it marinate. I'm just saying, keep your relationship to yourself. It is the best way in which you can allow your relationships to work. You have to give your relationships a chance. Talking to people outside of your relationship about your look, unless you're going to a professional therapist, keep your mouth shut. Get you a journal. Every time your significant other make you mad, piss you off, irritate you, annoy you, ignore you, guess what? Write it in that book. Write it in the book. Because unless you're going to seek professional help, there's nobody outside of your relationship that needs to know your issues or your problems. Because here's another secret. While you telling your girlfriend all your business, how he ain't no good, you telling her the good stuff about how he pay your bills and what y'all doing in the bedroom and how he laying pipe and how he breaking your back down and how he hitting all them right spots. But then you turning around and telling her at the same time, like, he get on my nerves, like he want to go out. Girl, oh, he get on my nerves because he'll be doing this, he'll be doing that. Please believe the person that you're talking to is paying attention. They are paying attention. They paying attention to both conversations. Please understand that. Fellas, when you talking to your friends about, oh, how she do this trick, how she do that trick, and how she can bend them like Beckham, and how she got them mega knees, and how she do this and do that there. Let me tell you something. While you advertising to your friends how she throw that ass in a circle, please believe that they taking mental notes, especially if they single. Please understand they taking mental notes. So when you decide to get out of pocket, and you think you gonna rah and all that, she get on my nerves, I'm leaving her, guess what? Don't be mad when your friends slide on in. They just tip on in the DMs. Well, I'm here for you. If you need me, I got you, whatever you need. I understand he being a jerk. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? I talk to him for you. I got you, whatever you need. If you ever need me, you can call me anytime. If you need anything, you can call me. I got you. I love you. You my girl. Right. And that's exactly what they mean. They trying to make her your girl. And your girls are the same way. Them be the same ones that be in dude DM like, yes, she tripping, she tweaking, like, how she gets sometimes, like, I wouldn't even worry about her, like, it's gonna be okay, like, if you need anything, I got you, I'll talk to her for you, you can call me if you need somebody to talk to. Let me tell you something, I don't want nobody I'm talking to my friends about me or talking about any issues in my relationship. I'm not giving nobody no opportunities to slide in no DMs, slide in no text messages, slide in my bed, okay? Because that's where it leads to. They slide all up in through your phone. So that way they slide in your house and slide right onto your bedroom. Be careful of what you say and who you say it to. Just be mindful of that. I'm not going to play with y'all in these comments. Yes, I definitely am going back to read some of these, honey. Absolutely. Laura says, you sure right, Bree. Danetta says, that's right, Bree. Right. Everybody has something to say. Zeta says, man, thank you. Laura says, I don't tell my family shiznit because I be mad for 2 seconds. Then I'm like, my man is wonderful. Hey, Joan, how are you? Zelma says, write it and teach yourself better. Come on, Zelma. That's what I'm talking about. Write it in. Look, nobody has to know what's in this journal. Nobody has to even know you have it. Write in the journal, look, and stick it in your bed. Stick it in between your mattresses. On the side you sleep on, stick it right on up there by the pillow. So when they make you mad, you just roll over in the bed. And when you turn over sideways, like, and you just be writing, mumbling under your breath, talking to yourself, and writing in your journal. Nobody has to know what you're writing. Nobody has to know what you're writing about. Because in your journal, you can get as detailed as you want to. And guess what? When it's all over and done, burn that sucker. No evidence. Nobody has to know nothing. Burn that puppy. It's not like you're going to publish it and give it away to somebody. It's your private personal thoughts. Just a thought. Bobby says, that's right. Keep your mouth shut. Stop telling everybody everything about your business. Janetta says laugh out loud and lamb pipe. Laura says, I got one good girlfriend I can tell it all to. And at the end of the convo, she like, so what you gonna cook for him? Not you need to leave him, girl. That's a good that's a friend. Because the one you have to watch out for the ones that be like, well, girl, I leave him. Especially if they know you really care for that person or you genuinely love that person. The ones that like, girl, leave him. I won't be bothered with all that. Like them the ones you gotta watch with the side eye. I'm just like, you gotta watch. Janetta says they want to find out what you're telling. Happened to me. You gotta watch. Joan says they paying attention. Lauren says too much attention. Bobby says that's a good friend. I don't know her, but I like her. Oh, Bev, thank you. Bev says, thank you for my beautiful shirt, wearing it proudly. Oh, thank you. Zeta said, slide in that damn DM big time. Been there, done that. I'm trying to tell you, the people you would not expect, the ones that be like, girl, we friends. And oh, you my best friend and I love you, girl. You like my sister. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you what I know and not what I heard. I had it done to me. Okay, I had someone I called my best friend, friends over 20 years, just my sister, my kid's godmother, like, woo, we best of everything, baby. Slid right on in. Slid right on in. Do you hear me? Okay? So I ain't telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. It happens. And it will be the person you least expected. Okay? It's the one that be like, oh, he a dog. He ain't no good. No way. Like, you need to leave him. Because the ones that are bad mouthing the person you with and dogging them left and right are the ones that are trying to slide in the DMs and slide on it. They trying to slide on it and slide in it. So watch it. Watch them with all the eyes, okay? These two, watch them with all four. Just watch. Bobby says that's exactly right. Zelma says, and then you catch another assault charge and be mad. Laura says, Bobby, you know her, sis. Honey, let me tell you something. When I say you, it's really something that it's not, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. There are some women that are some good girlfriends because I have a few. Okay. I have 3 good girlfriends that are my absolute best friend in the world. They allow me to be me, all my personalities, in my crazy ways, in my sane ways. They still accept me and love me for who I am. And that's Elisa, LaDonna, and Nina. When I say they allow me to be me wholly, in my broken moments, in my whole moments, they celebrate with me and they cry with me in the bed. Those are the type of friends that you need, that are really going to give you what you need to hear and not what you want to hear, even in terms of relationships. So you have to be open to receive that from those good friends. Not the phony kickets, not the let's just know what's happening in your business type friends. And those aren't even friends. Let me say this. Everybody ain't your friend. I don't care how long you've known them. Everybody ain't your friend. Learn the difference between friends, associates, and acquaintances. It's the same difference between leaves, branches, and roots. Learn who falls in what category and move accordingly. Move accordingly to whatever position they play in your life. Like Maya Angelou says, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Okay? That was some of the best advice she could ever give. Because people will show you your true colors, even in relationships. That's why a reset button is needed. Because sometimes we miss those signs, even being in relationships for long periods of time. We miss those signs. And we need to do resets on ourselves sometimes. Bobby says, let's see what we got up here going on. Let's see. Zelma said, I'm not going to play with you. Zeta said, thank you. Danetta says, all that sliding. Laura says, it's not the evil you have to avoid, but the appearance of it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Jones says, but if you done, they can have them lock, stock, and barrel. I don't know about my friends having leftovers, because that means if you're my friend, I guess to me it's an unspoken rule. Anybody that I've ever been in a relationship, if they're really truly my friend, they don't want them. I don't care how good they were. They don't want them. Because I certainly don't want nobody my friends been with. I don't care how good the relationship was. I don't want them just based off the fact that they've been my friends. Or especially somebody I consider to be a friend. So, Sam says, you definitely should be friends first. See what happens. If it's meant to be, the relationship will get to girlfriend, boyfriend, fiance, then marriage. It's a process. Absolutely. Absolutely. Lauren says, they problem next. Zeta says, write your ass off. Danetta says, I'm going to be a writing MF. Baby, let me tell you. You better get you some stock and some journals. I promise you, they work. They work. I promise you they do. Laura says, Danetta, I need a typewriter here. Laura says, them the ones that first thing out their mouth is, girl, I wouldn't put up with that. Leave his ass. And they ain't got a man or woman to start with, can't begin to relate. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like if I'm in a committed relationship or if I'm married, I don't hang out with single people. That's just my thing. Now, when I'm single, I hang out with my single friends. But if I'm in a committed relationship, there's a difference in behavior. There's a difference in behavior that takes place from when you're single in a committed relationship in a marriage. There's just different behaviors. So if I'm in a marriage or I'm in a committed relationship, I don't do the things I used to do when I was single or do the things that me and my single friends do when we hang out. I don't get numbers. And, if when we single, you go to the club, look, you might get 3 or 4 numbers here, 3 or 4 numbers there. Look, put them in a pound, mix them up. You might throw them away at the end of the night. But that's single behavior. You're allowed to wear whatever you want to wear. Show as much skin as you want to show. Twerk it all night long. Throw that ass in a circle all night if you want to, if that's what you choose to do. But when you're in a committed relationship and you're in a marriage, there's some things you don't do. You don't go out showing as much skin as possible when you're outside without your partner. Just saying. So for me personally, that's just like I said, that's my personal opinion. But when I'm single, I hang out with my single friends. I don't hang out with my married friends because their behavior is not my behavior. And I'm mindful of that and I'm respectful of that. But when I'm married or in a committed relationship, then yes, I go out with my friends who are at that level of where I'm at. Because I would hope that my friends that are single would have respect enough for my relationship and enough love for me to not even want to put me in those type of situations. So absolutely. Bobby says, tell us, sis. Laura said, let's go fight her right now if you want to. Laura. Janetta says, yep. Zeta said, yep. Laura says, I'm supposed to be painting this bathroom and I'm stuck on here with y'all. Well, I appreciate you being here with us, Lord. I certainly appreciate you being on here with us. Hey, sister. See, there's one of my sisters right there. She says, hi, sis. You're speaking the truth. I've been on both sides with my friends. Danetta says, yep. Zelma says, exactly. Joan says, right. A good friend allows you to be you, warts and all, and never judge or try to change you. Absolutely. Lauren says, believe them 100%. Bobby says, told on our wedding day, the best advice. A couple who had been married for 40 years at this point. At that point, the wife said, "Here's the advice we got on our wedding date, and we're giving it to you. Don't take anyone's advice on your relationship." And we followed that advice for almost 20 years now. Come on, Bobby, you and Sam. Come on. Almost 20 years of marriage. Won't he do it? That's what I'm talking about. Elisa says, people get to relax in relationships. Stop being that way. True. Jones says, not talking about friends, talking about skeezers. I I cannot play with you. I'm not gonna play with you either, Joe. Okay, Zelma. Love you too, honey. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us tonight. Zeta says, definitely. Lauren says, Bree, you hit the nail on the head with that one. I had to learn that when I got married, single and involved individuals move way different. And they do. They absolutely do move differently. Lauren says, hell, my husband hurried up and said, you need to find some married friends. Hey, Lenore. Hey, how are you, honey? Here's the thing. You know, when we're talking about relationships and moving differently, there's just the standards are different, you know, the staying out late, the responsibilities are different. Is it's just not on the same playing field when you're married and when you're single. It's just not. Um, and even when I was in a relationship and in a marriage, I didn't want my husband hanging out with his friends that didn't have girlfriends longer than 5 years, lives, because they moved a whole lot differently. And they were trying to get my husband to move the same way. Now, whether he fell for it or not, that was on him. But that's just the way it was. So, oh, hey, Monique. Hey, honey. So Lauren said, this is some real good talk this evening. Look, I told you, Lauren, look, we keeping it sexy this week, okay? Look, you see I done put on the earrings, girl. I done put on the necklace. I done put on fringes, girl. We keeping this, put some eyes on tonight, girl. Keeping it sexy now. We done got the sexy glass for this week, okay? We got the nail there. I was ready for y'all tonight. I was ready for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Sexy all week. All week long, we keeping it sexy, okay? Listen, when you're in relationships, the one thing I ask that you do over time, because so many things change, from time to time, take a reset. And in taking that reset, take inventory. Take inventory of your mind, take inventory of your heart. Because life changes us. Life changes relationship. So, in all seriousness, please make sure that regardless of whatever relationship you're in, however long you've been in that relationship, make sure that you're in a mental capacity to deal with everything that comes along with a relationship. Make sure that you are in a position to be willing to do the work that it takes to put in to make a relationship work. Because in the words of Mother Rule, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Be mindful of that. Marinate on that. Hit the reset button. And it's okay. Go to a bed and breakfast. Go stop by find you a cabin to go take a weekend trip. Hell, go rent you a trailer and cross country for 30 days if you can. Just do something that allows you and your significant other to spend time together, just you, because it's needed in relationships. So make sure that you're doing whatever it is, whatever that work requires. Make sure you're taking that time for your relationship, making sure you're listening in those quiet moments. Make sure you're paying attention to those slight changes. If there's something you know your partner likes and you may not be able to do it anymore, or you may not know what it is, new desires. Look, sometimes these men hit midlife crisis, sometimes we hit midlife crisis. We may lose our damn minds sometimes, and and forget that we the age we are and think we 20. So look, shit happens, life happens. It's okay. That's what the reset button is for. Allow that reset button to put you in a position where you can be open and honest, not just with yourself, but you can be open and honest with your partners. So when you get a chance to, find the nearest bed and breakfast. Book you a flight to Hawaii. Book you a trip to the Maldives, Bora Bora, England, France, Italy, anywhere. But just make sure that it's you and your significant other with enough time to allow you all to have those conversations that you wouldn't be able to have, whether it's in your home because you have kids in the home, or because you all work together, you're together 24/7, that you just need a change of atmosphere to be able to be like, hey, how I'm feeling, and I couldn't really tell you at home, but I wanted to take this time for us to really have this conversation and do things that you wouldn't ordinarily. Sometimes just simply going to get a pedicure together, holding hands while you're going to get a pedicure, go to the park. There's different places. Go to the zoo. Surprisingly, walking through the zoo, holding hands, looking at the different animals can be a romantic experience because it's you two together. So it doesn't always have to be you spending all the money you got. Sometimes it can simply be a simple picnic in the park. Get you a blanket. Look, order you some food, put it in the picnic basket. Grab you a bottle of wine, some plastic glasses, some real glasses, whatever. But do whatever it is that is needed in your relationship to either hit that reset button or to learn what the new love languages may be between you and your partner. Because again, love languages change. They change with age, they change with time, they change with situations. But put it, Joan says, Hennessy, come on now. Hey, Breeze, how are you this evening? So listen, I always in my show with asking you all to do one random act of kindness. But instead of me asking you to do one random act of kindness this week, I'm going to ask you to do one loving act with your significant other this week. Whether it be a kiss in passing, take the time in the morning to maybe meditate with each other, or maybe in the evening when you come home, you discuss your day together over dinner. But do one loving act. That's what I'm going to ask you this week instead of one random act of kindness. Because this week we're talking about keeping it sexy and keeping that spice in relationships. Because, honey, let me tell you, if you one of those that when you walk past, you're like, smuggle is, throw them a few hints. Hey, jeans you ain't worn in a while. When you cook dinner, put on them Daisy Dukes while you cooking dinner under that apron. Put on the sports bras, some Daisy Dukes. Cook dinner. Get up in the morning and cook breakfast with the apron. Only. I'm just saying. I'm not gonna play with you, Janetta. She says he's gonna kiss that journal I'm gonna write here. I'm not playing with you, Janetta. And if you don't have it, get your journal. Get your Breeze. Breeze says cook dinner naked for me. That's what I'm talking about. Get that spice back. Stella got her groove back. I'm just saying. If Stella can get her groove back, honey, we can all get that groove back, okay? We gonna get that spice back this week, okay? We gonna get it back. Because on Wednesday, when y'all come back, we gonna talk about, the things that you can do. We gonna get more into detail about the things you can do to get that spice back. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, you might not want to miss Wednesday because all week we keeping it sexy, y'all. So I'm gonna have to figure out, well, we gonna have on Wednesday, y'all. Because we gonna have a special glass all week now, Yes. Breeze says I'm smiling and eating and smiling. Come on, Breeze. Come on now. But look, Get your journal this week, okay? Get you a journal this week. And each time your significant other pisses you off, makes you mad, irritates you, annoys you, or just downright works your last nerve, write it in a journal. Just write it. And as you're releasing. And that keeps you from having that urge to spill it with somebody else who trying to slide on it. Okay? So look, do that loving act this week. Random kiss here, random kiss there. Write them a note in the briefcase. Janetta says by Wednesday that journal will be full. Hey, if it's full by Wednesday, then guess what, sis? On Wednesday, we gonna get a new one. That's all. We gonna get a new one by Wednesday. Okay, we can have a bonfire by Friday to burn them all. If you done filled three of them by Friday, we can have a bonfire. We can meet up somewhere by the lake over there where they do the bonfires, girl, and we can throw them all in at the same time. Okay, I'm just trying to say. Bree says, Danetta, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So look, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in today. Thank y'all for rocking with me tonight. Get them loving acts of kindness, getting down. Bobby says, write it in a journal, then send it to us for publishing. Laugh out loud. Just kidding. Come on, Bobby. Come on. Listen, y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I really do. Look, share this, please. Like, share, and subscribe to Clack and Shimmy. We are on all social media. We are on every type of social media you can think of. I do have a few more tickets. So Wednesday, I'll be giving out a few more tickets on Wednesday at our show on Wednesday. But listen, if I promise you, we are going to have an awesome time this week. I promise you we will. So I look forward to seeing y'all on Wednesday. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. And if there's somebody you think could use this, share it to them. Tag them in it. Let them know. Watch it back. And then come on and join us on Wednesday and Friday. Because Wednesday, not only are we talking about what you can do on Friday, baby, let me tell you something. Friday, we got look, some good things going on Friday because we talking about what you can wear to bring that spice back. I don't think you want to miss that one. I don't think you want to miss lingerie and lace on Friday. I don't think you want to miss that. I don't think you do. But in case nobody told you today, you are important, you are loved, and I love you. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it to change that. So go grab them journals, get to writing, and go get to love making. Go kiss your significant other. Okay? Love y'all.